Meet Dominique. He's only 17, but in those 17 years, Dominique has had to stand up to bullies, experienced discrimination in many ways, been rejected by some family members, and he's even come back from the brink of suicide. Instead of being bitter, though, his heart is full of love. Dominique is a young man who wants to tell his story to the world because he thinks his story can help people. You see, Dominique is an openly gay 17-year-old, and he just wants to be able to be who he is without any stigmas attached. Dominique not only wants that for himself, but for anyone of any age who feels they must hide their true self away for fear of being discriminated against, disapproved of, hated, or feared. Dominique has written a book, and now we want to help him put that book into the hands of anyone who is struggling with the decision to be open about who they are. He wants to pay forward the good that he gleaned from the books that he read and get the message to these kids that you're not alone, and get it to them early enough to understand their value in this world, so that they never consider suicide or decide to live in fear instead of being authentic. You see, Dominique has struggled with knowing he's gay since he was 10 years old. Since that realization, he fought his way back from fear to peace and gathered some really amazing insights along the way. Dominique wants to show young gay children that being gay is as normal as being straight, and to embrace their identity so that they can live more fully. He wants them to see bullies for who they really are and stop letting the fear of being bullied drag them down. The fear of being bullied or being rejected by those closest to you is a significant fear, and Dominique knows this firsthand. As a child, still dependent on his parents, he had to quietly gauge his parents' belief system to see if he thought he'd be accepted or rejected by them. This is pretty heavy subject matter for a 10-year-old. But that is how old some of these kids are. Just Google, "How old were you when you knew you were gay?" and see the results. This project needs to raise $5,000 so that we can get Dominique's book edited and published and the first 1,000 copies printed. We need to get them ready for distribution to a generation that's struggling with their own identity. Dominique's words will not only be immortalized in print, but to help fund this project, those amazing insights will be printed on beautiful tiles, t-shirts, and coffee cups. Dominique will be helped by authors who have bravely blazed this trail before him, such as Griffin Garson, who wrote Kitty Alice Enigma, a G-rated gay science fiction for teens. There is a whole generation of youngsters out there, many of whom are struggling with a fact about themselves that they cannot control and are isolating themselves because they fear rejection from their parents or their friends or society in general. It's time we help voices like Dominique get lifted up and amplified and helped along the way. Helping us help Dominique fund his book project sends the message to these kids that they matter, that they are loved, and that they are not alone.